Welcome back. Entering the dating world again after a breakup, divorce, or loss can be frightening, especially in your older years. But it's never too late to find love and happiness once again. Here with some great tips is leadership and relationship expert, Dr. Karyn Gordon. Hey.
Hi, doctor.
All right.
Look at you. Already.
I'm taking notes on behalf of several staff members.
I love it. I love it. So one of the first things I want to say actually about this segment is that this is going to relate to all of us.
Okay.
So of course, if we're divorced, we're single, maybe if we've recently grieved a spouse, but a lot of the tips, even if we're in a relationship, this is good content. So everybody do with what Kelly's doing. Get out your pen and paper, take notes.
Okay.
All right.
I'll pass my notes around.
All right.
Okay, so how do we begin? Where should we start?
Okay, so tip number 1 is start dating yourself.
What?
Date yourself.
I say it all the time. You have
Yes.
to know who you are before
Yes.
you can find the right person.
Well, it's kind of funny. I often say to clients, if you don't like hanging out with you, why on earth do you think somebody else is going to like hanging out with you? Okay, so really take the time, whether it's 6 months, 2 years, whatever the time is, take the time. Tip number 1.
Okay.
Okay.
What's next?
What's next? Number 2 is get clarity. This is a big one, actually. This is a good one for everybody. Get clarity on your top 3 needs. Your top 3 things. Look back at the last relationship and ask yourself what are the top 3 things that you could have done differently in your relationship.
So introspection.
Introspection.
Yes.
And this is really big because a lot of people, what do? We go back and we play the victim, right? We
And
go
we
back
blame.
and we blame so-and-so did this wrong, so-and-so. And so I want you to kind of think about things like, did you not assert yourself? Did you not set boundaries? Did you not prioritize sex? Did you focus too much on the children? You know, really kind of go through some of those things and ask yourself, and this is a good one for all of us.
Right.
Right? Because all of us in relationships, we can kind of get stuck
Or just in life. When
In
things
life.
go wrong, it's good to look inward first.
to look inward
Yeah.
first. And the other thing about this one is, and I tell this to clients, don't move on until you've done this. If you cannot come away with three takeaways, don't move. Like that, it stops right there.
Okay.
So the buck stops with you identifying the 3 things you could have
Yes,
done.
exactly.
Okay, so if you can identify
Yep.
that, then what?
Okay, so then tip number 3 is then think about developing what I call your 2.0 version of yourself. And again,
Okay.
you could do this in a relationship, okay? You don't have to be ending a relationship to be doing this, but think about like, what is the 2.0 version of myself? So you're taking the learning from tip number 2, and you're thinking about, okay, what do I need to do? Do I need to do therapy, read books, podcasts? What are the skills? Maybe do I need to kind of work on my communication skills? Like, what is it that I need to do to kind of develop myself into a healthier, more confident, fuller version of myself?
What if you're perfect?
Mark. Oh, then you ask your former spouse 2.0 how you're not. Okay, that's how you do it. It's a very simple thing.
I've got my list.
Yeah, okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, this is like pretty straightforward. And you know what? That's actually a really good point because you know who is the best person to give us that honest our feedback, the blind spot, is your spouses or your kids.
Yeah, kids will tell you.
Kids will tell you too.
Yeah.
Okay, but in relationship, just call your ex.
Okay, so now we're the 2.0 versions of ourselves.
Okay.
What's your
Then
next
what?
tip?
Okay, now we're ready. Now we want to kind of figure out our fun print.
Okay.
So this is interesting because when people kind of, whether or not through a breakup, divorce, grief, whatever, it can be pretty heavy, right? All of a sudden we're feeling really low. What we want to do is we want to awaken that energy. We want to kind of feel energized. And so all of us have a secret little fun print, things that we just do that we love to do. It energizes us, and we want to start tapping into that because it's going to do 2 things. One, it's going to actually energize us, put us in a better kind of emotional energy, but then it's also going to expand our network. So if one of the things is like tennis, I love to tennis, then I'm going to join a tennis club. Well, now I'm going to meet a whole bunch of people who play tennis. So it's going to actually also expand my network. So I thought it'd be kind of fun for you guys to figure out what your fun print is.
Okay.
So you can do it as a couple. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Is that not a good idea, everybody, to do it at
I'm
home?
already in trouble.
Do it at home. That's what I said. Get out your pen and paper.
I'm in big
Okay.
trouble.
All right. So think about your 3 things that you just do to it energizes you. Okay, it brings you life.
You
all
go
right?
first.
So,
Okay.
do I hold up my thing or
Yeah,
just
go for
read
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
So I put dancing.
Dancing.
I love
okay.
dancing.
Okay.
I take dance class every day.
Wow.
Reading.
Oh.
So I don't know how you expand your.
Right.
Yeah.
But book clubs.
And I love
Yeah.
long conversations.
Oh.
Long.
I love this. I
protracted.
get to know you better.
Yes, long
okay. I
conversa-
love
like
that.
long, deep conversations.
Long, deep conversations. And I'm wondering if Mark kind of likes this as well.
Okay.
This is so good. All right,
So
go ahead.
this assignment is, I never.
Did you misunderstand the assignment?
I'll never have another spouse. So this is just like something like unfiltered.
Sure.
Whatever. Like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm just being like a caveman.
Right. He's giving us a disclaimer.
Yeah,
is what
disclaimer.
I'm hearing right now.
These are the 3 S's.
Oh, he even put his. Okay.
Yes.
Love it.
Sports.
Oh.
Sex.
Okay.
And silence. And what I mean by silence.
It's exactly the opposite of hers. But anyway, that's okay. We can
What I
work
mean
with
by
it. We can work
silence
with it.
is like being comfortable with the person you love in silence. That's so important.
Okay, so silence, like alone silence?
No, silence is being comfortable.
Yeah, there's so much clarity. We have so much clarity.
I have so much clarity. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you have
why
so
do
much
I
clarity.
feel like I'm talking to a wall?
Yeah. He wants to be in a monastery. Yeah. No, but that actually does make a lot of sense to me. That
Being
does
comfortable in the quiet, in the silence.
Okay, so it doesn't mean to be alone
No.
in a silence. So you can be with her.
Yeah.
So if she's talking and you're at silence.
Yeah, sure.
How does that kind of work?
I think he just wants me to shut up.
I mean, when you're reading, you're not talking. So when you're reading.
You love when I read.
Yeah, I love it. We should go to break. Hey, listen, when we return, Dr. Karyn will give us more tips for finding love again. Hey, we're back with Dr. Karyn Gordon, who's giving us great tips on finding love the second time around.
She's also helping us fill out our divorce papers.
No, you have more insight. You've got more insight.
Yes.
This is like so helpful. It's
All right,
so
so
good.
how about red flags?
Okay, red flags. You want to get to red flags right away? Well,
No,
we can. The red flag. Well, you know what? Just to circle back really quick about the last one, it's actually okay if your fun prints aren't exactly the same.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah,
want
that's
your entire relationship to be your fun print is based on the other person.
Right.
Okay, so that is not a red flag to me.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Just.
What
just
would
to
your
circle
next
back.
advice be, like tips after 1 through 4?
Okay, so after 1 through so number
We've gone
5.
to number
Okay, so now we've developed ourselves. We figured we have more self-reflection. Now what we're going to do is we are going to let our circle know.
Ooh.
Okay, so now you're ready. You've done the work. Okay, so now let your circle know. Let your friends or your colleagues, people that you trust, say, you know what, I think I'm ready.
Because
because a lot of times we know the best people, like our friends have already vetted them, right?
Right.
So it's a nice kind of quick way to do it. So that would be kind of like tip number 5.
Okay, what's next?
Next one is, this is really big, is around the dating apps. People have very strong opinions about dating apps. People love them, they don't love them. You have to figure it out. If I was single, I would do it. Would you do it? I'm just curious.
I would not.
You would not do it?
No.
Would you do it?
I can't imagine doing that.
You really, you can't?
No.
Okay, so 2, 1.
We're so...
But like if you didn't have your profile job?
No.
Even before?
I wouldn't, even before that.
I would go through the circles.
You would go through the circles. Okay.
Yes, I would go to my trusted friends.
You would go through. You would do that more,
Yeah.
kind of. Okay. Well, I think it just opens up the pool.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to do a lot of vetting. Okay.
Right.
But the thing I would really stress is get somebody who you trust, a friend, colleague, mentor, coach, whatever, to look at your profile. Does the picture and the content, is it a good reflection of who you are and who you want to attract?
So maybe change the 3 S's on my, I wouldn't
Yes,
put that
do
out
not
there.
put that on.
Don't put
Yeah,
that
do
out
not
there.
put that one on. Yes, yeah.
But if you find that one unicorn,
Yes, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
that's into all that.
There you go. And you can
Fantastic.
also think about like red flags, things that you would actually see on the dating apps that you're like, maybe that is like a big flag.
Well, what's a red flag? Like for me, my red flag would be the dating app.
Right.
Oh,
Like the
My
dating
red
app
flag
would
would
be.
be when their photo is obviously doctored or photoshopped.
Okay.
And it's
okay.
too much social media presence. That would
got
bother
it.
me.
My red flag would be if they have not, if something in their profile, have they done therapy or coaching? That would be my flag. I would want to have something. There's questions I would be actually having or looking for in terms of have they done some kind of self-work.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, that's what would be. I don't know if I would say necessarily a red flag, but something that I'd be looking for.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
But or to your point, it's like if it's too much about their image.
Right.
Right? So that would be kind of one of my flags.
Men who pose with pictures with large, wild like tigers and lions.
Yeah.
Those guys.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Now that the profile is up and ready,
up.
what do we do?
And whether or not it's up or it's not. Next one is actually tip number 7. Lead. This is really big. Lead with your head. Okay, listen to your heart, but lead with your head.
Okay.
Okay, and this is very countercultural because the culture says follow your heart. Our heart is wonderful. It is not a good decision maker.
Yes.
Nope.
Okay, so you want to listen to your head. What is
Instincts.
what is my head, my goals, my values? What is my long term? Lead with your head and your heart. will catch up. If it doesn't catch up, then that's a sign. And ideally, you want them to be in alignment.
Right.
But this is really big, and we can teach this to our children too. This is really good for them in terms of actually choosing a good partner.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is great advice.
This is so helpful.
Check out Dr. Karyn's book, The 3 Chairs, How Great Leaders Drive Communication, Performance, and Engagement. Next, we're going to open up that inbox to ground.